Where do you see the world in 20 years?
In 20 years, I see the world being either completely crumbled and a post apocalyptic world. I see there being no humans left because the way we're going at the minute, I think that we're using up too many of like the natural resources and fossil fuels, and people are too greedy and stuff like that. Realistically, I think it's going to be a hellhole.
It seems like we're just like consuming and consuming, and I don't really know how it's gonna end out.
I see it being overcrowded if it's not sorted out soon. I wouldn't say the best, but I'm sure there's better things to come in the future.
Which animals and insects do you know are in decline due to human interference in global warming currently?
Well, I've heard about bees.
Yeah.
They're in decline apparently. Tigers, elephants are kind of going in decline as well. Koala bears, pandas. Well, basically, most of the animal species that are currently in decline are in decline due to human activities.
I'm not really sure about insects, but I know mammals which are in decline.
Did you know that bees were in rapid decline?
Yes, I did actually.
How do you know?
I think I saw a thing on the news about it once.
Just the once? Like, it hasn't really
Yeah,
been-
it's
so
not
been
it's not a
mentioned
big
once.
story really.
I didn't know that bees are rapidly in decline at the moment. I heard something in the media that bees were going missing or something or dying out, but I didn't like start to panic over it.
Do you think bees are important?
Possibly.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you don't really think about it, but when you do, yeah, they do quite a lot for our economy.
I do know basics about why bees are important to us because I think something to do with like pollinating the flowers and spreading plant life and also the honey, and I'm not really sure specifics of it, but I've read somewhere that if bees die out that we're all dead basically.
They're brilliant creatures, aren't they? You know, they do a lot for the world, and not many people know about that. So I think bees should definitely be more aware than other issues.
If bees were to die out, do you know what would happen?
It won't be pretty.
Well, they wouldn't be able to like pollinate crops and stuff, so it means that we're not in a good place.
I've heard briefly what might happen. Like they wouldn't pollinate, and there wouldn't be much crop growing, which can be really bad for food and for feeding people. So I imagine that would have a really bad effect in most countries in the world.
If bees completely died out, I have no idea what would happen to us. I imagine that it can't be good. Probably the government would have some way to build some mechanical bees that would continue on from the dead bees.
What's your favourite food?
Well, usually something that involves meat. I'm quite of a meat eater.
If bees were to die out, manufacturing of meat products would be very, very, very expensive, and then eventually probably just be unlikely to get hold of. Because as the decline of bees goes down, the more expensive meat would become, and if the bees were completely to die out, then meat would be very hard to produce, so it'd probably be really hard to get hold of.
Oh, damn. It wouldn't be a nice thing. I wouldn't want to become a vegetarian just because bees died out.
My favourite food is I'm gonna have to say a sprinkles dessert, which is M&M waffle with loads of chocolate sauce and ice cream on the side.
Bees being in decline or to be totally wiped out would really impact upon the manufacturing of dairy products. So
Okay.
that would more likely become more expensive as the decline got worse,
Oh man.
and then eventually would be completely depleted once they're
Yeah.
completely gone.
Okay, so with the depletion of bees, basically you have to change your entire diet if they were to die out. So it'd be harder to get the things you like.